Here's a scenario: you've been driving for a little while, you've pulled up at an intersection, the car's just completely died, and you've thought to yourself, I didn't think I stalled it. However, when you try to crank the key, sometimes it doesn't start, and when it does, it takes a long time, and you're faced with a flurry of issues such as VDA unavailable, hill holder unavailable, and check your steering corrector. Well, that might be all caused by this one sensor here. This is the crank sensor, and today I'll be replacing this in my 940 Giulietta QV. Along with the crank position sensor, I'll also be replacing the air filter, since they were about a month's wait on back order. And now I've finally got one, and I thought the underbody tray was in 3 pieces, so you just need to remove the corner end, bottom right. However, this whole unit is one big piece, so I had to remove all the screws and get the entire lower bash plate out just to get to the airbox. So this is the airbox over here. You've got this clever little drain plug down there, and to get to your filter you've got these 3 bolts. They are absolutely tiny. They are 7mm or less, because this 7mm piece is actually loose on it. Maybe it's just imperial. This looks fairly clean, but I'll replace it anyway. So now all we need to do is get under the car and locate the starter motor. This should be at the middle of the engine bay to the right of the gearbox, and we'll have to get over this axle that goes to the front right wheel. It was a massive pain to get the old one out, but here it is. And I had to reach over the front axle, going to the front right wheel to get this out. And the easiest way I found was, rather than wiggle it, you try to twist it and then break the seal with this rubber O-ring. So now the new one is going in, which is just the reverse process of pulling the old one out, except a lot easier, I assume. Over here we have the old sensor with some vernier calipers on it. That's because this anchorage point here is about 2mm on the old sensor and is about 3mm wide on the new sensor. Over here we have the original bolt, and you can see that it's not completely threaded. It's also a T40 Torx bit, which is quite uncommon. I'm going to be replacing it with a standard hex bolt with much longer thread. And now it's time for the final step. What I like to do is grab an OBD scanner and check the codes and reset the system. Now the new sensor is in, the air filter is in, and I've taken the car for a healthy test drive on this nice sunny day. There have been no issues, but I have decided to keep the old crank sensor. I've given it a clean up along with all my tools, and it'll be in this box in case I ever need it again. Other than that, the car just needs some new valve cover gaskets, seeing as it's leaking oil from the top end. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, then feel free to subscribe.